Welcome to the Talkchat podcast. The segment is the political oracle, a boiling pot of strategy, analysis, and bold predictions. In the last video, we talked about ways to fund your political campaigns. And someone asked me, okay, you have given us the ways or the best ways of funding political campaigns. Which ways are not the best? And that is where we are today. But before we proceed, I want to offer once again our political benediction. Our political benediction today comes from Benjamin Franklin. He said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. I state it again, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Remember, I already said here another time that if you are not informed, you are deformed. Another thing is this: those who know rule over those who do not know. And that is why we are here, to make sure you are informed. So therefore, how not to fund your election campaigns? I'm going to give you 5 ways of how not to fund your election campaigns. Simply because if you use some of these ways, they lead you into problems. And I will actually be spelling out some of the problems you are likely to lead yourself in if you rely on these methods of funding your elections. And as we end to 2027 elections, you must re-examine your funding model. Number 1, very obvious, using personal loans or what we call borrowing. This goes without saying that you are not guaranteed that you will win an election. Of course, it is hoped that you will win the election or the position you are contesting for. But remember, as you prepare, you hope for the best, but you can also expect the worst to happen. What will happen if you borrowed a loan or you used personal loan to fund your campaign? It will be the worst method because you'll be left paying loans that never, or kind of borrowing that never benefited you. The second method is, of course, using your retirement fund. Many politicians think that politics is somewhere you can get after retirement. And what they do, once they get their retirement fund, they use it to fund a campaign in an attempt to get elected. If you are planning to do this, kindly desist, because in case you lose that election, you will be in big problems. You will have blown your whole career savings in some months. And then if you lose that election, many people end up dying of heart attacks, committing suicide, or actually going through hard times, if at all they are going to survive the outcome of losing an election. The other worst way of funding your campaigns is selling family property. I want to advise those who are planning to contest for some positions in 2027. If you are thinking of selling some family property in order to fund your campaign, it is not the wisest of the decisions you can make. Because in case you lose that election, you are going to have your family live in squalor. And that is why if you have to fund your election, you have to look at our previous video, because I explained 5 among other ways of funding your election. Number 4, unregulated donations. Remember, I said there could be donations which are good. There could be sponsorships which are legal. But if you are going to fall into the trap of using unregulated donations, it means you could have problems in the future if the organizations that are giving you decisions have some integrity issues. So you need to be very careful who is giving you money, who is funding your election campaigns. Number 5, pledging future assets. We have heard of politicians who actually borrow money and pledge future assets that they have not acquired yet. Some of them hope, they have all the confidence that they are going to win an election. Then they pledge that if I am elected, I will buy you this, I will give you this tender, I will give you this property that I will buy, and you do not have that kind of an asset. Desist from that, because if you lose an election, you are likely to be dragged into court cases and suits. And this is likely to exacerbate your problem on top of your loss in an election. There could be very many other ways of how not to fund an election as we end to 2027. If you have more of this, kindly do not fear to put them in the comment. And as I sign off, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel, follow us, and also make sure you share this video as widely as possible. And that is the political oracle. Thank you.